Hi there, my name's Ben Gordon. I'm the Managing Director of Bodega Volcanes de Chile. Beautiful wines, small production here from Chile, volcanic terroir, real wines with minerality and a sense of place. So please get in touch with Penny at greatwineonline.co.uk and sign up. I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible. Cheers.
Now, when it comes to more tours in the future, Caroline and I have been discussing Argentina and Chile, which will be just amazing. I think we'll go and see both Ben in Chile, the volcanic Bodegas Volcanes, and then we'll move on to Argentina. Caroline, one of the trips I'm really excited about, having had a lifetime's desire to go to South America, is the one we're planning to Argentina and Chile.
South America, again, one of my great loves. I spent a year traveling around. Absolutely fantastic culture, energy. Food and wine are huge. Sort of, a Latino culture, a bit like Italy. Yeah. But there's so much to see and do there, and the scenery just blows your mind.
Great.
So that's
we're looking forward to that.
Really, really exciting as well.
Excellent.
And so much of a vibe. Learn tango, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to have
Bodega Volcanes, yeah, so Spanish word volcanes, volcanoes. As I mentioned, Chile, an incredibly seismic and volcanic country. And we're very fortunate that we actually have access to fruit across different valleys. It's an incredibly long, thin country, and there's huge diversity in Chile. And there are two volcanoes here that actually kind of smoke or erupt at the same time. And the indigenous tribes talk about Romeo and Juliet's story because of the fact that they will always kind of fumarole or have the smoke rings at the same time. So yeah, this is, as I say, one of the tallest volcanoes in Chile, snow-capped.
Caroline, one of the trips I'm really excited about, having had a lifetime's desire to go to South America, is the one we're planning to Argentina and Chile.
Yeah, this is going to be something absolutely amazing.
We're planning on flying into either Buenos Aires or Santiago. That's going to be defined. But then we've got a couple of wineries that we're going to visit. Now, some of our customers know Ben from Bodegas Volcanes, which is in the volcanic region of Chile. They know him very well. So we're going to go and visit Ben, and Pilar, the winemaker there. And then you're going to take us over the Andes, I think.
Yeah, I think if we can fly into Santiago and visit that winery, and I think one of the greatest journeys I've ever done is to go by bus, actually, over the Andes from Santiago into Argentina, into Mendoza. So we're going to have to take a private transfer. We're not just going to get on any old bus. But although the buses in Argentina and Chile are special, I mean, it's like being on a first class flight. You lie back and you have food served and all sorts. The bus
so it's not a rickety old, jalopy.
But we're going to be going in more like a sort of private transport. And you actually will pass Aconcagua, which is one of the highest mountains in the region, and really spectacular scenery is out of this world. And then we'll arrive in Mendoza, which of course is the absolute heart of Argentinian winemaking. So tell us something about the winery in Mendoza.
Well, Eric, who's our, we call him our cowboy winemaker, because basically he is a cowboy. He does everything on horseback. And what he's promised us when we get to the winery there is that we will be behaving like gauchos. It's called Gauchesco, and we're going to behave like gauchos. So
wow.
He'll take us out into the fields, we'll build a bonfire, probably roast some kind of whole animal.
That's going to be
and obviously lots of wine tasting.
My family, we're from Colorado. I grew up on a cattle ranch in southern Colorado, so a cowboy, and decided I would take the Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid trail down to Argentina, skip going back to Bolivia and getting shot in front of a bank, and literally put down some roots in Argentina. Over the process of looking at about 500 different vineyards, my father and I purchased one of the oldest vineyards in Argentina and quite possibly the world. Legends of gold, oak forests that are 150 years old, cork forests that are 150 years old. So, property with great history and great wines. The gauchos were, fundamental in the development of South America. So the gauchos were the ones that helped General San Martin, whether you like it or not, conquer South America. And so they were the ones that actually helped them go up over the Andes from Mendoza and go all throughout South America. One of the great things that Argentina has in comparison to other places in the world is we have 300 days of sunshine and pretty dry climate. We study what do people think of when they think of Argentina. They think of football, they think of the Argentine beef, they think of tango, they think of the Andes, and they think of gauchos. And so we decided that we came up with gauchesco, which is a romantic literary term again that means gaucho way of life or gaucho style. So, the gauchos, sleep under the stars and they sleep on the ground, and so they're truly connected with nature and the earth, and so that's something we wanted to continue as a philosophy. So legend tells that there was some nobles being chased, some Spanish nobles being chased by some bandits, and in order to escape, they had to stop and bury the gold. And subsequently, the previous owners of our vineyard got out there with a backhoe and dug up all kinds of holes in our vineyards. We still come across them every once in a while. I don't believe they found the gold, and if they did, they didn't tell anybody, which would be smart. But the original farm manager of our vineyards, Don Cano, who's 93 years old now, has showed me this supposed olive tree, because we have over 1,100 plus year old olive trees on our property. He showed me the olive tree that's buried under, and I said, Don Cano, that's a very great story. It makes great for marketing, and everybody likes a good story. But I have a feeling if the gold was really there, I would have never met him, and he'd be living in the Bahamas drinking drinks with little umbrellas in them. So, again, we like the history, we like the legends, we like the story. But at the end of the day, the true treasure are the vines and the wines that they give us.
I'm sure there'll be an asado. It's Argentinian barbecues. They have very, very slow cooked meat. They love that.
They tend to do that towards the end of harvest. And in fact, I think we're getting there around that harvest time.
Yes, so we're looking at sort of October, November 2022. So it's quite far off, but it's definitely something we're starting to think about. And the other thing we're going to do in that trip, we're going to go from Mendoza to Buenos Aires. We have to see Buenos Aires. I mean, it's an incredible city. It's very cosmopolitan. You could feel like you're in Europe for a lot of the time, but then it has these fantastic Latino vibes and history. If you're interested in Evita, the story of Evita, as I am, it's got all the Evita history, but also it has like this incredible opera house, something like you would find in Italy, a marina. The architecture is really stunning, and so much of a vibe. You can learn tango, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a tango lesson in the itinerary.
Well,
because you can't go to Buenos Aires without learning tango. And then we're actually going to fly up to Iguazu, which is one of the world's largest waterfalls. I don't know the statistic. I think it's the second biggest after Niagara. But it's supposedly, I haven't been to Niagara actually, but people say it's much more spectacular than Niagara. It's much wider. It's, I think, the widest waterfall in the world. And we're going to spend a couple of days there. And the great thing about Iguazu Falls is it's actually on the border of Brazil, Argentina, and Paraguay. Right, so we'll be going and seeing the falls from the Argentinian side. Then we'll be going over into Brazil and seeing the falls from a totally different angle. It's also set in a beautiful piece of rainforest. So it's all tropical, beautiful parrots and birds everywhere. And you can actually get on a boat and go under the falls, which you do get really wet, but it's a fantastic experience.
Oh, Caroline, I can't wait. We're very excited.
It's really, really going to be a great trip. The architecture is really stunning, and so much of a vibe. You can learn tango.